صلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. We are still studying the beginning of Surah Al-Imran and the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he said that when he spoke about the Quran, and he said that it is he who sent down to you the book. In it are verses that are muhkam, means clear. They are the foundation of the book. And others are mutashabihat. Those mutashabihat are those who are allegorical, like they may carry different meaning. Those are mutashabihat. And then he said, those in whose heart is perversity, means that perversity, means that there is deviation in their heart, follow that which is mutashabih. So they leave that which is clear cut and they go to those ayat that they may carry different meanings. And those are the people of innovations. Those are the people of innovations. Right. Yes, so they are known for that. So because they follow their desires. They follow their desires. So the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and those in whose heart is perversity, means there is deviation in their heart, who have diverted from the righteous path. You see, they have diverted from the righteous path. He said, rahimahullah, their minds are distorted, their intentions are evil, and perversion has become their nature. Now, may Allah protect us from that. May Allah protect us from that. This group will follow that which is mutashabih. Mutashabih means it's allegorical, so it may carry different meanings. They leave aside the muhkam verses, they leave aside the clear verses from the Quran, which have unequivocal meaning, and instead run after the mutashabih. With this mannerism, they distort matters by terming the muhkam as mutashabih. These people are seeking discord, as they wish to mislead the people from whom they call towards their position. You see? Since ambiguity exists in mutashabihat. Ambiguity, things that are not clear. Or their meaning, it is not clear or completely agreed upon. So these people try to use the verses of the evil for the evil purpose of creating doubts in the people's mind. There exists no ambiguity in the muhkam, means the clear-cut verses, as people who wish to pursue the righteous path and avoid evilness continually find the truth and correct guidance in them. Subsequently, Allah declares seeking its hidden meaning, but no one knows its hidden meaning except Allah. The Quranic exits, means the mufassirin of the Quran, the scholars who do tafsir of the Quran, have two varying opinions regarding this sacred verse. The majority of them stop after the word Allah. So, like, what he means by that, وَمَا يَعْلَمُ تَأْوِيلَهُ إِلَّا اللَّهِ, and you stop. Right? And then you say, وَالرَّاسِخُونَ فِي الْعِلْمِ. Okay, now, when you stop at Allah, do you know that the meaning changes? If you were to say, وَمَا يَعْلَمُ تَأْوِيلَهُ إِلَّا اللَّهِ وَالرَّاسِخُونَ فِي الْعِلْمِ, there are two different meanings. The first one, when you stop at the word Allah, means only Allah knows its meaning. Nobody else knows its hidden meaning. Okay. You understand? When you stop. And this is the majority of the scholars. Majority of the ulama, they are of this opinion. Okay, majority of those mufassirin of the Quran. So you say, وَمَا يَعْلَمُ تَأْوِيلَهُ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. Waqf, you stop. وَالرَّاسِخُونَ فِي الْعِلْمِ يَقُولُونَ آمَنَّا بِهِ. See? But if you say, وَمَا يَعْلَمُ تَأْوِيلَهُ إِلَّا اللَّهُ وَالرَّاسِخُونَ فِي الْعِلْمِ. So now you're saying the only ones that know its hidden meaning, Allah and those who are well grounded in knowledge. So they also know its hidden meaning. Understand? So there are two opinions. Majority, they stop at the word Allah.
Only Allah.
Right. So this is what the Shaykh means by that. طيب. The Shaykh, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, while some believe in the combination when you join the two ayat together, this is what the combination means. And those firmly grounded in knowledge is to be inclusive of it, means they are included in that verse as well. He said both this interpretation can be correct, because if the objective of this interpretation is to know the reality of a certain thing, then stopping after except Allah will be correct. Since Allah has kept the real meaning of certain matters with Himself, for example, the reality of Allah's attributes and virtues. Nobody knows the reality of those attributes. For example, Allah mentioned that He will come on Yawm al-Qiyamah, right? But we don't know the reality of that. We have no knowledge about that. We can't delve into the reality of how would Allah come, or how is the face of Allah, or the hands of Allah, or how does Allah speak? No. Or how does Allah rise over the throne? This is not permissible even to ask, because we have no knowledge about that. So these matters only Allah knows. We don't know them. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. طيب. The Shaykh, he said, the happenings of the hereafter are also what will occur on Yawm al-Qiyamah. We don't know. Allah told us, but how would those things happen? We don't know. You see, these are matters that are from the matters that we have no knowledge about. Only Allah knows the reality of that. Only Allah knows the reality of that. You see? And the Shaykh, he said, and other such matters is known only by Allah. It is not correct to try to perceive the understanding of these matters. It's not, because the human mind will not be able to perceive it. So why do you want to perceive it and you don't know how it is? طيب. The Shaykh, he said, rahimahullah, he said, as it will prove to be futile efforts, Allahu Akbar, you would not be able to understand. Like, for example, there is, subhanallah, the angel of death, how many angel of death is there? He's only one. One angel of death. As Allah said in the Quran, قُلْ يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ مَلَكُ الْمَوْتِ الَّذِي وُكِّلَ بِكُمْ. Say, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the angel of death who is in charge of taking your soul will take away your soul. He's only one. But how many people die? But Allah gave him the ability to take away their soul at the same time. Allahu Akbar. Look at the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Al-ulama, they say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him the power to take away the soul of so many at the same time. It's like he's looking in a bowl. Subhanallah al-azim. Allahu Akbar. It's just amazing, amazing, amazing. And look at the angels in the grave. How many angels are there? Two. There are only two. But how many people get questioned? Subhanallah. Allah gave them, because this matters, we will not be able to perceive it. We will not be able to perceive and try to understand, because these are the matters of the unseen. These are the matters of the unseen. Likewise, what will happen, as the Shaykh mentioned on Yawm al-Qiyamah, when the people get resurrected from their grave and they stand for judgment in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all these matters They are from the unseen. We believe in them, but we cannot perceive them. There is no way that you can perceive them. طيب. Like, for example, in this dunya, the time matters to us. You have to keep looking at your watch, what time it is. Oh, subhanallah, I have to go to this place. Oh, my wife is serving lunch, I have to be at home, and things like that. You're always conscious of time. But in Jannah, you don't have to worry about time. It's completely different. Because the time doesn't matter. Who cares about the time in Jannah? Because you're living forever.
Yeah.
You're living forever. Do you really have to look at your watch? No. And there is no night. There is no night in Jannah. There's no night.
You don't have to sleep.
No, because sleep is a deficiency.
Yeah.
is a deficiency.
When you want
Right.
to eat, you just think, and the food is
The food will come to you.
in front of you.
Yes.
Subhanallah.
Allah. Just wish.
Wish.
Wish for it, it will come to you.
You don't have to go to the restroom.
No restaurant. Actually, what it will come out from the skin as you sweat it out musk.
Yeah.
But no, it's not. We don't think about the musk in this world,
No.
because the musk in the hereafter is completely different. Yeah.
It's like a sweet smell.
Yes. It's a smell beyond our imagination. Because everything in Jannah is something beyond your imagination. Allahu Akbar.
So,
May Allah make us from the people of Jannat al-Firdaus.
So is there any prayer time or anything?
No.
So
The prayer is here.
Is there any Friday or something that you are going
There is a day that the believers, they go to a market.
Okay. Market.
One day, but it's called the Market of Beauty. The Market of Beauty.
Beauty.
Okay, they go every week. They go to this market. And Allah sends a special breeze that hits their faces. And they become the most beautiful.
More beautiful.
So when they go back to their family, your wife will say to you, Subhanallah, you are so beautiful.
You became more beautiful.
And then you look at her, you say, MashaAllah, you're so beautiful.
Subhanallah.
Yes. Allahu Akbar.
Allah.
May Allah make us from the people of Jannat Firdaus.
Amen.
Allahu Akbar. The Shaykh, he said, Rahimahullah Ta'ala, it is not correct to try to perceive the understanding of these matters, as it will prove to be futile efforts. I mean, there is no benefit in doing that because you're not going to be able to understand. You're not going to be able to understand. The Shaykh, he said, this is because a person tries to become cognizant of a thing that is beyond the capability of his limited understanding. You see? Limited understanding. And that's why some of the people, because of their lack of iman, they become atheists. They become, atheists, right? Atheists, those who don't believe, who deny the Lord. They say there is no ilah. May Allah protect us from that. Because they use what? Their intellect. They try to use their intellect. You see? Like they say, how can I believe in Allah and I don't see Him? You tell him, okay, do you have a brain? He will say, yes, I have a brain.
You can't see it.
Do you really believe you have a brain? He's going to say, yes. Have you seen it? You say, no. Have you touched it? No. So how do you know you have a brain? Maybe you don't. That's it. You shut him down completely. Like one time, Al-Imam Abu Hanifa, rahimahullah, and Abu Hanifa, he was a scholar that Allah has given him wisdom and intelligence. So some of the atheists, they come to him and they said to him, how can you prove to us that Allah exists? Then he said, he told them, do you know about a gigantic ship in the middle of the ocean, sailing by itself without a captain? He says, impossible. How can a gigantic ship be sailing in the middle of the ocean with no captain to steer it? He said, if that's impossible, what about this magnificent universe? You think it doesn't have a creator? He shut them down. Yeah, subhanallah. Allahu Akbar. The Shaykh said, rahimahullah ta'ala, someone once put a question to Imam Malik regarding the verse. Imam Malik ibn Anas, he was the second scholar after Abu Hanifa. So Abu Hanifa was the first one. Because now you have four school of thought. Four school of thought, they're called madahib. Madahib. In fiqh. In the understanding of like, for example, salat, zakat, and other than that. So these are four imams. Who excelled in the aspect of fiqh, right? But they're also good in aqidah and other things. But for example, in Bangladesh, you have the Hanafi madhab. Yes. Yeah, Hanafi madhab. In India and Pakistan, they have the Hanafi madhab. Like if you go to in Trinidad too, if you go to Saudi Arabia, they have the Hanbali madhab. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. In Egypt, you'll find the Shafi'i madhab. Where I come from, Maliki madhab. Yeah, Malik. So Imam Malik, rahimahullah, he lived in Medina. And he used to teach in the Prophet Masjid. And one time a man asked him a question that he shouldn't have asked. That man should not have asked that question. Yeah, it's not actually permissible to ask that question. Like this is what we're talking about. The reality of the attribute of Allah. How are you going to ask about how does Allah rise over the throne? Imam Malik, he will not be able to answer you. Because he himself does not know. And nobody knows except Allah. And nobody knows about how Allah rises over the throne except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's a matter beyond our imagination. طيب. So we asked Imam Malik regarding this verse. Ar-Rahmanu ala al-arshi istawa. The most merciful established himself on the throne. Okay. A lot of people, when they hear this verse, they may start thinking worldly. You know, when you start thinking worldly, what does that mean? It means you're
negating
No, you start thinking worldly. You start thinking like,
using your own.
like a king in this world.
Oh.
No. It doesn't mean that. No. Because Allah does not need the throne. You understand? Allah is self-sufficient. The throne needs Allah, but Allah does not need the throne. And the heavens and earth, they need Him. He does not need anyone, the angels, the humans, the jinn. And that's why from the names of Allah, As-Samad. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ Allahu Samad. As-Samad means the self-sufficient master. The self-sufficient master. Meaning that He is self-sufficient, He does not need anyone. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, طيب. The most merciful established himself on the throne. The person asked, how was Listiwa, how did he rise over the throne? This is the question. So this question is not permissible to ask. So Imam Malik replied, Listiwa is known. It's known to us that Allah said that He rose over the throne. This is something known to us, right? He said, while the how is unknown. We don't know how. It's unknown to us. And it is obligatory to have faith in it. It is obligatory to have faith that Allah rose over the throne because Allah said so in the Quran. And questioning about it is an innovation. To ask a question, how, is an innovation. The same should be the answer to questions about the nature of all the attributes of Allah. Our answer should be similar to that of Imam Malik. We would say this attribute of Allah is known. but its real nature is unknown. It is obligatory for us to have faith that Allah has such an attribute, and questioning about it, its real nature, is an innovation. Allah has only made mention of this attribute of His to us and has refrained from mentioning its real nature. Yeah. So we must stop there, as this our limit, as trying to understand what is impossible for them to comprehend. There is no way we can comprehend them, as only Allah knows the reality of such matters. Those of true faith believe in these matters and leave the rest to Allah, thus saving themselves from any unnecessary hassle, errors, and debates. Allahu Akbar. Look how the Shaykh explains it. SubhanAllah, this is the way of Ahl Sunnah, alhamdulillah. Shaykh Abdul Rahman bin Nasr al-Sa'di, rahimahullah ta'ala. And when the Shaykh Abdul Rahman al-Sa'di passed away, you know who was chosen to be the Shaykh after Shaykh Abdul Rahman al-Sa'di? Because the Shaykh, he had about 150 students. And these 150 students the Shaykh had, the author of this book, some of them were judges, they became judges. Some of them, they became mufti, like they give fatwa, religious verdicts. They teach. But one of the most prominent of them is Shaykh al-Allama Muhammad bin Salih al-Uthaymeen. You know, everyone chose Ibn Uthaymeen. And Ibn Uthaymeen, he was only 27 years old at that time. So everyone, all the students and the leaders, they said, Shaykh Muhammad, you're going to get on the minbar. He said, it's a big responsibility. He said, we have chosen you, and that's it. You're gonna get on the minbar. And the Shaykh, he got on the minbar, he gave the khutbah, and then after that, he's the one that took over the Grand Mosque, where his Shaykh was. And then he produced students as well, Shaykh al-Uthaymeen, rahimahullah. And then until he passed away. And what's really amazing, Shaykh al-Uthaymeen, something you're going to hold your head when I tell you this. Many of you don't know. Shaykh al-Uthaymeen, rahimahullah, before he died, do you know that when he was in the hospital bed in Jeddah, in the city of Jeddah, he was on the hospital bed. They connected him to the Masjid al-Haram. Imagine, the Shaykh is on his bed, laying down, and he's answering questions from Masjid al-Haram. The people, they cannot see the Shaykh, but they can hear his voice. Amazing. And Allahu Akbar. And his son, Ibrahim, he said, one time we came back from the hospital. We left the hospital. And he said to me, let's go to Masjid al-Haram, because the people are waiting for us. SubhanAllah, I said, you're still not feeling well. He said, no, people are waiting. We have to go. SubhanAllah, and he went, and he answered their question, took care of their need, and things like that. And he said one time he was sleeping, SubhanAllah, and then he got up while he was sleeping. And he started giving a class. The Shaykh was giving a class while he was sleeping. He said, if I recorded that class, it would be very good. 50 years of teaching the people, SubhanAllah. Yeah. Allahu Akbar. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have mercy upon Shaykh Abdul Rahman bin Sa'di and his students and his parents and all of us. And may Allah unite us with them, with our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Jannat al-Firdaus. الصحابة والتابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين والحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم.